All right, guys, we're going to try and keep this one short, and hopefully the audio is a little bit better this time around. Good morning, Quackhawks. It is Thursday, March 19th. It is the first Thursday of this coronavirus situation where you guys are all staying at home, and so I feel like the week is starting to feel long, and many of you guys are starting to feel the effects of it, just like we had kind of talked about at the beginning of the week. And I wanted to get back into one of the things I'm really excited to talk about, which is Animal Farm. So we left off and haven't finished the book, and I think that the ending of this book really helps us to understand what are some of the bigger issues that we're facing when we talk about fascism, we talk about systems that use us and that burn us out. So when we're talking about this, oftentimes what we were relating it to was how school acts as a system that just uses people up. And in this same way, you might be at home and getting into a new routine that is burning you out, where you are using every bit of yourself to tackle what this new normal looks like. And so I wanted to read from you from chapter 9. If you've got the book at home, you can flip to chapter 9. It's on page 122. At this point, it's 121 is where it starts. At this point, we have the character of Boxer, and Boxer is this workhorse. And remember, I kept on saying, you're not supposed to be relating to the pigs. The pigs are these political forces. We're supposed to be relating to the horses. We're supposed to be relating to those who are the workers, right? And how they've been tricked into continually giving more and more and more. And so when we look at this situation with Boxer is a really good summation of what human capital is viewed as, what our labor is viewed as within these structures, right? So we look at this scene and we have Boxer, this amazing horse that throughout the entire time, he's had these two mantras that are, I will work harder and Napoleon is always right. He is absolutely dedicated. He is a true patriot. He is exactly the ideal of what it would mean to be a part of Animal Farm. And so when we see his end, it's a very powerful end. And I want to draw your attention there to the bottom of 121. It says, "Quick, quick," he shouted, "come at once. They're taking Boxer away." Without waiting for orders from the pig, the animals broke off work and raced back to the farm buildings. Sure enough, there in the yard was a large closed van, drawn by two horses, with lettering on its side, and a sly-looking man in a low-crowned bowler hat sitting on the driver's seat. And Boxer's stall was empty. The animals crowded around the van. "Goodbye, Boxer," they chorused. "Goodbye." Many of them had started believing in what the crow was talking about, which was this idea of Sugar Candy Mountain, and that there's this greater life waiting for them. And Boxer was finally retiring and going off to a better place. Boxer was not just one of the strong workhorses, but also one of the few that was able to understand what was going on and was choosing willfully to not engage in it. One of the other characters was Benjamin. Remember that throughout this entire book, Benjamin keeps on being able to read and not really telling us what's going on. So this next line is very powerful. When Benjamin just cries, "Fools, fools," shouted Benjamin, prancing around them and stamping the earth with his small hooves. "Fools, do you not see what is written on the side of that van?" That gave the animals pause, and there was a hush. Muriel began to spell out the words, but Benjamin pushed her aside, and in the midst of a deadly silence, he read, "Alfred Simmons, horse slaughterer and glue boiler, Willingdon, dealer in hides and bone meal. Kennels supplied. Do you not understand what that means? They're taking Boxer to the knackers." A cry of horror burst out from all the animals. At this moment, the man on the box whipped up his horses, and the van moved out of the yard at a smart trot. All the animals followed, crying out at the tops of their voices. Clover forced her way to the front. The van began to gather speed. Clover tried to stir her stout limbs to a gallop and achieved a canter. "Boxer," she cried. "Boxer, Boxer, Boxer." And just at this moment, as though he had heard the uproar outside, Boxer's face, with the white stripe down his nose, appeared at the small window at the back of the van. "Boxer," cried Clover in a terrible voice. "Boxer, get out quickly. They're taking you to your death." All the animals took up the cry of, "Get out, Boxer, get out." But the van was already gathering speed and drawing away from them. It was uncertain whether Boxer had understood what Clover had said, but a moment later his face disappeared from the window, and there was the sound of a tremendous drumming of hooves inside the van. He was trying to kick his way out. This scene is powerful because it reminds us that when systems are in place that only value us for what we do, for the work that we're putting in, or only value us for our loyalty, that ultimately we shouldn't be surprised when in the end we are turned into another form of capital. If there's a way to turn our senior citizens into a more effective way of getting money, would we do it? Do you think that we live in a system that is ultimately using us and our labor as just another form of capital? And if that's the case, what do you do about it? Do you wait until the last minute when you realize that you are trapped in that box and can't get out and you are headed towards your death? Or do you start fighting against it beforehand? At what point do you say, I feel like I'm being controlled and I need to stop just listening blindly to those that are in charge? Now, when it comes to this very strange situation we're in, where you guys are at home dealing with the coronavirus and dealing with what I keep on calling the new normal, I want to challenge you guys to think about how you have this unique freedom in this moment to do with your life what you want. What do you want from your life? What boxes are no longer there to confine you? And how can you create a new system in this time that will help to fight against that? Because remember, that's the work of anti-fascism. When we talk about fascism as a way of controlling citizens, a way of controlling people, we have to realize that our work to fight against it is to say, I will take control of my own life. I will do this thing, and I will make sure that I'm doing it from a place of my genuine desire to do it, right? The more that we do that, we find that there are supports. We find that there are other people who are striving for this as much as we are. So I encourage you guys in this week, I can't give you guys assignments. I'm not making anything due, but I want to encourage you guys to think, what can I take control of in this week? What can I really make my own? If I have to stay at home and make meals, can I make meals that are delicious, that are the best work that I can put in? And in what ways can I serve myself better? I know many of you guys yesterday in talking about mental health were concerned about how you were going to handle this strange time in our lives. And I want to encourage you guys to find something that you feel like you can control, something that you can hold in your hand. You look around your room and you say, okay, I'm going to pick up one random thing just off this desk. Here are my headphones, and I'm going to hold them in my hand, and I'm going to tell myself how they feel. I'm going to say that out loud. I'm going to say, this is soft. It is kind of squishy. They are kind of dirty. And I'm going to say those things out loud. That's going to help me have a sense of control. Even something as simple as that. I control this thing. I am in charge of this part of my life. Or just going outside. Like I keep on saying, take a walk outside. I can control this part of my life. I can control this one thing. And in doing that, you'll realize you have far more say in your life than other people will tell you. And that you need to take that say that you have in your life and turn it into what you desire, the beauty that you want to create, the life that you want to see. So I encourage you all to go and do that. If I can give an assignment, I would give that assignment, that this week, come up with how you're going to take the reins on your life. Recognize the boxes that you're in, and next, recognize the writing that's on the wall. Where are you headed now, and how can you get out? All right, as we talk about fascism, we're going to deal with this a little bit more. Hopefully we'll be able to do our final projects, and we'll be able to get into that. You guys can create some content. I'll host some of that stuff here. So if you want to create anything like a digital video that we can put into these videos, I'm more than happy to host you guys and to put stuff up on this channel. So you're all lovely and amazing. And this is for the better part of today. This is going to be our sign out. Stomp your feet, clap your lap, da 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 da, yell quack, quack.